Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. In the name of Almighty Allah, the entirely merciful and the specially merciful. Dear viewers across the planet, I greet you with the greeting of peace. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. May peace be unto you. Ameen. Dear viewers, I hope you remember all the time, you and I and everybody should do as what our beloved Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam taught us, to begin everything by peace and to end your talk and your meeting and your discussion and everything that you do by wishing people peace around you. Peace and peace and peace. Do you know anything better than that? To the best of humans, there is nothing better than peace. Therefore, we encourage each other and we work together to spread the message of Islam, to spread the message of peace, because we want everybody to enjoy peace. It's not just for individuals, specific individuals, and we leave others without it. No, it's for every human being. We share it with every human being. And remember, it is for free. It doesn't cost you anything. It just costs you little time to think of that. And we wish that these moments that you spend here, you can get one of these treasures. Today we are going to discuss another treasure. We are going to read the words of Almighty Allah, which we consider all of us as treasures. You take it, he takes it, she takes it, every human being takes from it, and it remains and stays as is, so that many others can share it and can learn from it. This is the beauty of learning. This is the beauty of knowledge. And we get this knowledge is from Almighty Allah. Almighty Allah. This is our main source, the Holy Quran. You don't find another source similar to that. No. Only this source. And the Sunnah, of course, the traditions of our beloved Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So take a chance, take your chance, and spend some time. And I'm quite sure that you are well prepared now to write the name of the ayah or the number of the ayah, which is 55. Ayah number 55, chapter number 18. You wouldn't miss it. Chapter number 18, you know that it is Surah Al-Kahf, and it is in the middle of the Quran, and it is recommended that Muslims would, or believers would read it every Friday, so that it will be a good reminder for us. For every individual, you get some reminder from it. So here today, it tells us something that it may sound new to many people. I'm quite sure it is. If not, thank Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So this would be an activation to your knowledge if you already have studied it or have learned it. Again, ayah number 55, and this is how it reads in Arabic. As you have noticed that in many ayat, there are questions. And they are questions for us to think of. And you will find, of course, the answers either in them, the ayah itself, or in the following ayat. But these are questions that need to be reflected on. Have you ever asked yourself? Okay? And this is something common in our daily life. We ask ourselves this question. Let's ask ourselves this question and see. وَمَا مَنَعَ النَّاسَ أَن يُؤْمِنُوا إِذْ جَاءَهُمُ الْهُدَى وَيَسْتَغْفِرُوا رَبَّهُمْ إِلَّا أَن تَأْتِيَهُمْ سُنَّةُ الْأَوَّلِينَ أَوْ يَأْتِيَهُمُ الْعَذَابُ قُبُلًا. This ayah is translated as, and nothing prevents men, humans, from believing. A lot of people, on the day of judgment, they will say this question. They will say, I missed the opportunity. Nobody reminded me. Nobody told me to do this. Nobody, you will say. You're trying to blame others for their own mistakes. And now this is your opportunity to avoid such a situation, a critical situation that will be on the day of judgment. Who? Here, the question is, وَمَا مَنَعَ النَّاسِ? What prevented people? There's nothing that prevented people from believing. Now, when the guidance, the Quran, has come to them. Now you have the Quran, you have access to the Quran. If not physically, you don't have a copy of the Quran, you can access it through the internet. What prevented you? What stopped you? I'm asking the same question that had been asked to all of us. What prevented you? You lived all these years and months and weeks and days, and you never asked yourself what prevented you, what stopped you from accessing the Quran. You accessed many stories, many books, and you can ask yourself about the real value that you got from them. You find that it is very limited. At least none of them would answer these questions that we have. A question like this: who prevented you from accessing the Quran? Is it your parent? Is it your neighbors? Is it the employees that work with you? I mean, who prevented you? Tell me. Just think of it. This is the question that's raised here. And some people say, I've never thought of this. Now you have the chance. You have the opportunity. It's available to you. And nothing prevents men from believing when the guidance, the Quran, has come to them, and from asking forgiveness. Now you have access to the Quran, you read it, and you discovered that you made a big sin. And you can ask, you have the opportunity, ask Allah. Ask Allah for forgiveness. He will forgive you. He is there waiting for you, for every human, to give forgiveness, because He is the one who forgives. وَمَن يَغْفِرُ الذُّنُوبَ إِلَّا اللَّهُ. As Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, who else can forgive the sins of humans except Almighty Allah? No one else. It's only Allah who forgives. So what are you waiting for? What am I waiting for? I have the chance now. I'm living the opportunity. Now I have it. I discovered that I made some sins. I discovered that I made a big mistake when I did not access the Quran, when I did not access the knowledge that I'm supposed to know. Now you have the opportunity. You spend years reading newspapers and magazines and books and trivial kind of information, and you did not focus on the most important information, the most important knowledge, and now you have the opportunity. Who prevents you? Have you ever thought of it? Sometimes it's your own self, your laziness. Sometimes it is because of the environment that you live in, the people that you stay with, the people that you live with, the people that you play with, the people around you. Your peer group may be the reason, because they never raised these questions. Had any one of them raised these questions and they said to you that these questions are said by Almighty Allah Himself, by our Creator, what prevents us? Nobody prevents you to do that. So this is your opportunity, and that's why we say that it is a treasure for you and for me and for everybody. Except that the ways of the ancients had been repeated with them again. You live the same history of the other people. You never thought of correcting the path of yourself. You are just imitating and following others without reflection, no matter who you are. But you live among people. You are not in isolation. So you are affected whether we like it or not. All of us are affected, and we affect people, and we are affected by people. We should have some time for ourselves to ask ourselves these questions and to reflect upon them. Otherwise, there will be no way for us to be guided. It's not something that comes to us as easy as this. You have to exert some effort. You have to look for it. As people nowadays, they are looking for gold, and they are looking for money, and they are looking for jobs, and they are looking for this and that. Look for guidance. Put it on the list of things that you are looking for. So we are looking for guidance. Now you've got the thread. Now you know how to look for guidance. We gave you the source, and we told you that it is the Quran. Have you ever, how many times have you heard this word in your life? Can you say, I have not heard it? I think it's almost impossible to find someone on this planet saying that I have never heard that there is a book that's called, this is the book of Allah, the Creator, that's called the Holy Quran. Nobody can deny that. And if you have denied and you are watching this, now you cannot deny it, because all this episode is about that. And there are many websites, and there are many other channels, and many other programs that deal with the same thing. So our advice to you before the end of life comes, and it will come. For some people, it will be sooner than later. It will be very soon. It may be tomorrow. It may be even today. For others, it may be a little bit late, but it will come. And when we say that the end of life, this may put many humans on risk. This may put many humans in hellfire, in hell. To avoid these critical moments, you have to prepare yourself for it. It's not something that comes to you in your bed, although you can watch this program while you are at rest, or in your office, on your bedroom, or wherever you are, you can access this knowledge. It's so easy for people. Just put your intention that you are looking for guidance and start taking some steps. And by doing, among these steps is to access these questions. Where is the book of guidance? There is only one book in the world that's called Book of Guidance. It is the Quran. There is no other book that carries the same title. The Quran is the book of Almighty Allah, and the first few words in the Quran, the second page, it will tell you, ذَلِكَ الْكِتَابُ لَا رَيْبَ فِيهِ هُدًى لِلْمُتَّقِينَ. And in another location, it tells you that it is guidance for mankind. It is guidance for those who are seeking belief. They are there. The answers, what you are looking for is there, but it is you have to take the first step. Nobody is forcing. No force is going to do this. It's going to push you. It's you have to be fully convinced that you are doing the right steps to access the Book of Allah. Once you do the first step, it becomes easier. You start reading with reflection the words of Allah. It does not read somebody to be beside you, to help you, and to explain to you. Unless it becomes difficult for you sometime, when it comes, you ask people who are around you, who have the knowledge and who have some expertise, and they will guide you. I'm quite sure they are everywhere, almost everywhere. So these are the steps that are needed to be followed by anyone who is seeking the truth. But just sitting and relaxing and waiting for something to happen to you, this is not right way of thinking. The right way of thinking is that you do the first step. You start the search. How many times you have done your search in your life? All of us have been asked by our teachers, by our parents, to do some kind of research. Very limited research or extensive research, regardless, but we have done the act. We know how to do it. It's very easy just to go and see. Go to the library and ask the librarian if you don't know. I'm sure that he or she will put you of how to access the knowledge that you are looking for. When you access the knowledge, yes, select the authentic books. And I'm saving you some of the effort. I'm telling you, this is the most authentic book in the world. No other book is authentic as this. It's the only book that carries the words of Almighty Allah, exactly as He said them. Allah revealed them to the angels, and the angels carried them to Muhammad, peace be upon him, and it came to us safe and protected, no change in it. So spend some time, and I'm quite sure you will access that. It said that here, it's very severe to hear that the punishment is, wal-iyadu billahi, is fire, hell. Something that every human runs away from it. Everybody. We can see what happens around us in the fires, in the areas that has wildfires, and you can see how many millions of people are leaving even their houses and their properties to run away from that. This day, there will be no place to run away to. There will be no other place to run away to. Only Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala who can save us. So if we resort to Him. Therefore, we thank Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for giving us these guidelines, for this guidance in our life. And we ask Him to give us support to continue looking for the truth and sharing the truth with others so that they will be saved as we wish ourselves. Safety for us, we wish safety for every human being. آمين آمين وآخر دعوانا أن الحمد لله رب العالمين وصل اللهم على نبينا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين والسلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.